So the other day we were down at the river, and my sons and some of their cousins were looking for crawdads. And my son came running back to where we were seated and said, "Dad, look what I found! Look what I found!" What he had found was a DJI Mavic 2 drone, which a few years ago was really, really nice. But here it is. We're looking at it to see if there's any way that we can get to the SD card to see who owns it. I pressed on the SD card, but it wouldn't pop out. I'm sure there was a bunch of sand and stuff in there. So first I needed to get the battery off. So I looked all around it to figure that out. It was super crusty and really hard to get off. But ultimately I pried it out with a screwdriver. And then I was able to dig around and pull the parts out, all the motherboard or whatever's in there, and get to a spot where I could just slide the SD card out. Of course, it had been underwater for 3 years, and so it had a little bit of corruption. So I plugged the card right in, and then it started to fail. So I figured it had something to do with the moisture or whatever. So I opened up ChatGPT and I spent a bunch of time with it trying to figure out how best to make sure that I didn't destroy the card any further. And ended up letting it sit in rice for a couple days and a couple other things. I cleaned the contacts and whatnot. In the meantime, with a couple of photos that I was able to take off it, I made a post on Facebook and just said, "Hey, does anybody know these people? I would like to get a hold of them so I can get them back their wedding photos." And then I found the last video ever captured, and it required a whole bunch of work because it was corrupt. But wait till the end to see why this ended up in the river. So here's the groom's wedding party. If you know any of these guys, please tag them or private message me their information so I can contact them. So this is the last video ever captured by this drone. It's very idyllic. It's very nice. This beautiful couple sitting there having a moment, and the photographer is going to back out and get a really nice view from afar. And this right here is when things go south.